the report from the public until we leaked the video. So this is a very interesting framework. Does the U.S. military have any accountability? Should it be accountable for these actions and in policy, and should these soldiers be held accountable? And what is the process by which they're held accountable? For the specific allegations in relation to the video, we titled this "Collateral Murder." A news story has to have a headline, and we did this because of the van incident. That this was clear murder, and if you read the front page of the website, that is the incident that we specifically named. And it is also arguable that the missile attack on this pedestrian that was walking past was also murder. Certainly in any regular criminal court of law, I believe, at least from my knowledge of Australian jurisdiction, that would be a murder. And we wanted to draw attention to the abuse of the phrase collateral damage, which was used to describe the situation previously. There's been allegations of selective editing, but this is simply a lie. We released at the same time both versions of the video, the 38-minute version and one that was cut for time, an 18-minute version. Even in the 18-minute version, we were very careful to do as little editing as possible. In fact, the first 11 minutes is one uninterrupted, continuous take. And that first 11 minutes covers all the violence and context of the first two events, the attack on the crowd and the van incident. Totally unedited, 11-minute take.
The cut isn't until the aftermath, when the soldiers in the Humvees come?
Yeah, that's right. And there's a lot of dead time between when the soldiers and Humvees come. There's just sort of nothing going on. So there's just a few removals of this dead time period to when the soldiers actually arrive, and that's it. And one flashback to look more closely at the van to show that there were two children sitting in the front seat.
Well, and in the short version, you don't include
total editing.
In the short version, you don't skip ahead to the attack down the street later on. You have to watch the full version to see that. So it seems like if you're biased, maybe it's in favor of the soldiers there.
That's right. I mean, we don't have this missile attack in the short version, which we didn't have to do with some logistical reasons. We were sending people to Baghdad and to try and get more information about that event, and there was delays in it either. But one of the most serious offences, this missile attack, is not even in the short version. So if there's any sort of, we don't have a bias like this, but the perceived bias should be that we deliberately did not include a significant death in the short version. As for any statements about how we didn't point out that some of these people may have been armed, that is not true. We say in the text introduction there appears to be some people in that crowd who are armed, but nonetheless the behavior of everyone was relaxed. The reason that we didn't draw arrows and circles on the two individuals who may have been armed is that, well, you can see for yourself, and the sort of gun sight is pointed towards them at the moment that the pilot makes this comment. But also, we're not 100% sure that those were armed. They do appear to be armed, however, we're not 100% sure, whereas for the cameraman, we are 100% sure.
Well, it's still amazing to me that in a society which, as you pointed out before, is armed to the teeth, they have their own Second Amendment there. Everybody has an AK-47. It's amazing that somebody having a rifle on the street means he's fair game. I didn't even realize that.
Well, not only that he's fair game, but anyone who just happens to be standing around on that street is also fair game, just because one guy has a rifle.
It's amazing. That's what Steeper said.
That is terrible.
Steeper said, this is what occupation looks like. This is how it was every day over there.
Yeah, I think he said that 9 out of 10 incidents have ended in something like this.
Amazing.
And, of course, if you're a family living in that area, and we interviewed some of the victims, the children, and you can see their scars, and we release their hospital reports as well. If you were in Baghdad in 2007 during this sectarian violence and of course the external military issues and political issues, you would not be doing right by your family if you didn't have a gun. And I think it might have been John who said that most families he visited, I can't remember if it was him or someone else, that most families, actually no, it was an American journalist who was there the day after, that most families he visited in Baghdad did in fact have an AK-47 in their household. You needed this for the protection of your family, and perfectly normal to have.
All right, now I know you got to go. I just want to end here by complimenting your entire effort at WikiLeaks on behalf of everybody at Antiwar.com. In fact, it's so important in an era when the media will not do their job, and when we have the National Security Agency unbridled total information awareness about all of us, that we have little brother like you keeping track of them and giving the only good kind of tattletale in the world, a government employee ratting on his boss, an opportunity to do so and get their information out to the public in ways that don't endanger themselves and so forth. And so, round of applause. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your time on the show today.
You're welcome. Keep up the good work.
All right, everybody, that is Julian Assange. He is co-founder and the public face of Wikileaks.org.